She's on the
money.
She's on the money.
So guys, would you like the DM of this week?
Yes, please.
This is where I'm probably going to lose it. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. So DM this week says, "Hi, She's on the money. I have a money dilemma for you. So my old boss has only paid some of my super and I was laid off by mutual agreement about 2 years ago. We're still friends and talk regularly. She owes me about $5,000 in superannuation and I've brought it up multiple times. She's a sole trader and is now working full-time and only does her business part-time now. I text her regarding this situation almost 2 weeks ago now and I haven't heard anything from her at all. I don't want to ruin our friendship, but at the same time, she owes me $5,000 and I've already lost 2 years worth of growing my super. How would you handle this situation?"
Oh, this is really tricky. It's tricky because they are still friends. I feel like it'd be less tricky if they didn't even have any communication because legally she has to. Legally she has to, right? That's the thing.
100%.
So it's not even $5,000 that she owes. It's probably like the way more now because it's like the amount of interest. Or,
like if you went the legal route and claimed it, you'd be also claiming interest that you missed out on.
Incredible.
Yeah.
I guess it's really tricky because it is someone that you're in touch with. So if you do go the legal route, it's like you could say goodbye to that friendship maybe, unless they're like really chill and like, oh, it's fair enough. I probably deserve that, which would be really nice. But I think that, usually our answer is communication is key, but it seems like communication is not working here. It seems like you're very comfortable already bringing this up and they're just not responding. I would probably say something to the effect of, unless you've tried this already, I really like you as a person. Obviously, I think for my own sanity and for your own, if this goes on every single year, they're going to be owing more and more. But if they just give the money right now, then the interest they're accumulating, that's taken care of. But if they pay in 10 years, they're going to have to pay the interest as well. It's like this debt is getting bigger. So just explain to them that like if they pay now, it's still quite, it's a lot of money, but unfortunately they literally have to. I don't know. It really is tricky because you are, you don't want to ruin this person's life and you don't want to make them anxious, but they do legally, you have to pay that.
Yeah, I think that given it's been raised a couple of times, I know that you're still friends. So I would probably just send almost like a final message and just say, hey, I've tried reaching out to you a few times about this. I'd really hoped that we could sort it out between us. However, I need to put myself and my financial future first. And I know that legally I'm entitled to this money. Can you get in touch with me to sort it out? If not, I will be processing a claim through whatever the government platform is. So giving them a heads up of the action.
Yeah, I'm going to be forced to do this. I have to. I'm so sorry, but I have to do it.
Yeah, you're not going to blindside them. You're giving them the heads up. You're also, I guess, kind of showing them that you're really serious about this.
I like that approach.
You shouldn't have to be chasing them, really. And I understand that you're friends, but if they were your friend.
Friends don't do that.
Yeah, and I think that it was one thing if they were, they didn't have the money and they were really stressed about that, but then they need to be communicating that back. And ultimately, it's actually not your problem. That sounds really harsh.
It's not.
But
what about putting yourself first is harsh?
Well, yeah. And they have, as an employer, they took on responsibilities. And part of those responsibilities was ensuring that their employees were looked after, paid their entitlements, et cetera, et cetera. And so I think, the best thing to do, send one more message. I know that you just sent one, it hasn't been replied to, but just sending a final one, letting them know what steps you are going to take, and then the ball's in their court. If they continue to ignore it, just process the government claim, because once you process the government claim, it puts into motion like a official inquiry type thing, and they will have to pay it.
Yeah.
Do you know if they can pay in installments? Because that's an option if you're like, hey, this is easier for you if I just do this.
That's not your problem.
Yeah, sure,
that's something that they can come back and negotiate with you. But I don't think you should have to do it. And to build on Jess's, which I do think is a really good idea, I'd make it as easy as possible for them by going, to remind you, this is the account number and my BSB to make the payment, and you can do that via BPay, and this is the reference number. Like, I know that that's a bit more work for you, but I'm assuming that she'll be like, oh, I don't have the information in front of it. Like, you are removing any excuse for that not to be paid. And if she can't make the payment then and there, that's her opportunity to say, hey, I don't actually have the cash. Can I do $1,000 a month or something?
Yeah.
At which point you could accept or decline that.
Get it in writing.
Getting it
it
in
is.
writing. But I would also, I don't know, I just don't think friends do that to friends. That's not a friend. Like, a friend doesn't do that to somebody and then still happen. Like, I cannot imagine owing somebody money in that capacity where they're asking it for me. Sorry. In that capacity where they're consistently being like, hey, you owe me super. Can you please pay it? And then just like still texting Jess being like, hey, what are you up to on the weekend?
Yeah, so strange.
So weird.
Yeah.
Like, that makes me so uncomfortable because I feel like it's just me blatantly disrespecting somebody. Like, ew, no. And also, my brain as an ex-financial advisor just went to, what does that mean? Like, $5,000 today in your superannuation over the next 30 years at an average interest rate return of what? 9.5%, because that's on average what the share market has returned, is close to $100,000.
It's a lot of money.
$100,000 is what future you is going to be missing from their retirement because of this.
Yeah. That's crazy when you put it like that.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Like, no, thank you.
No.
Like, no.
So,
Hold on, that can't be right.
so I guess, yeah,
It is.
like I guess what we're all saying is, do not let it go, because it will eventually be a lot of money. And like $5,000 right now just, seems like, in the grand scheme of things, whatever. But it does amount
From
to,
little things, big things grow.
Yeah.
Like, literally, I just put it into a compound interest calculator because I was like, well, is I right with that? And it is. So your initial deposit of $5,000, this is not calculating or including the last 2 years of missed superannuation. Your total interest earned over 30 years at an annual rate of return of, and I chucked in 10%, is $94,187. So you would have a total contribution, including that $5,000, of $99,187. So after 10 years, you would have, after 10 years, that $5,000 would be worth $13,000. After 20 years, that amount is worth $36,000. And then after 30 years, that amount is worth $99,000.
that is
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah.
I
That's
think
what you're missing out on. And you know
Yeah.
what? I don't know if this is dramatic or whatever, but like, I would really drive her. Like, I think sometimes people can tell themselves, oh, it's not that bad. She'll drop it. She'll leave it. But like, sometimes just driving home, hey, I've actually done the calculations of what I'm going to miss in retirement, and it's actually almost $100,000 if this payment isn't made. So for future me, I actually have to follow this up, because like, absolutely not.
And for future them as well, because from my understanding of what you're saying before, I could have this wrong, but they need to pay the interest that was accumulated.
Oh, 100%.
And so if they paid it right now, it'd be $5,000 and something.
It makes me so mad because like, I think also because I have experience in this space, like I'm a business owner, I have to pay super. It is a bloody privilege. Like, it's one of the things that, yes, it is hard managing a business and managing payroll and superannuation, but you should not have a business if you cannot do that. Why are you taking on an employee if you can't afford that? Like, stop getting ahead of yourself. Like, and I think that's what makes me so upset, because you're taking advantage of people for your own benefit. Like, there's no benefit to your employee in this situation, yet you're feigning that you have a friendship with them still.
Yeah.
You just took advantage of them. Absolutely
totally.
not. Like, you're not, like, I can't imagine doing that to anybody on my team. Like, oh my God, like, I'd be mortified. And there's been times where Jess has been like, hey, like, my pay was meant to have a reimbursement or something in it and I've missed it. I'm like, oh, like, I find that mortifying. I cannot imagine if I was owing her $5,000 on her super. So I would be doing exactly, like, I think Jess's approach is a good one. Approaching it, writing a message, maybe even popping it in an email, like, hey.
In writing somewhere.
Yeah, in writing, absolutely. Like, you can send a text message and be like, I've also sent it to your emails to make it as easy as possible for you. In reality, I'm just getting it written down a number of different places. and just giving them as much information in that one message to pay it, why you need it paid, and that you will be taking further steps because unfortunately you
Might have to.
yeah, but also like you're worth that.
Yeah.
Like you should
Totally.
be following this up, and I can almost promise that if this is the type of person, I don't know, maybe I'm being mean, but if this is the type of friend that you have today, I can't see them being your friend for that much longer if this is how they're treating you.
Yeah. What did everybody else say?
Oh my goodness. Thankfully, our community also wanted to have a crack. Thankfully, our community, I feel like we're kind of on our same page, Jess. So the first question we asked the community is, what would you do if you were in this situation? And 39% of you said, I'd keep pushing because it's my money. 46% of you said you'd report them because rules are rules. 14% of you said, no idea, this is really messy. And 2% of you said, I'd let it go because I don't
Wow.
like the drama.
Oh.
That's
2%
crazy.
of you,
Don't let it go.
No,
Hold
we
on.
don't let it
That's
go.
your
No,
life.
I think after hearing those figures that you rattled off before, I think that 2% would probably change their minds.
exactly. Because like I think a lot of us just go, oh, and it's not only $5,000. $5,000 is a lot of money, but also because it feels a little bit distant, like it's super, like you can't access it right now. You're just going to be like, maybe. Does it really? Yes, it really matters.
Definitely.
Girl, give me your number, I'll call her. The next question we asked was, would you take legal action if a friend owed you money from a work situation? And I do think this is a little bit different than like, you know, you spotting your best mate a couple of $100 or even $5,000. This is business.
Yeah.
You know what? Business is business.
Yeah.
60% of you said maybe, depends on the amount. 38% of you said yes, business is business. And 3% of you said not worth the fallout.
Interesting.
3% of you, absolutely not. We then obviously asked the question, what is your 2 cents? First person said, talk to her one more time and say that you'll be reporting her if she doesn't come through. Jess, are you sure your name's not this name?
It's just me on my 10 secret accounts.
Someone else said, this happened to my husband and we went straight to Fair Work before they ended up taking action. Another person said, they ruined the friendship when they didn't pay your super.
I agree. Like it shows a level of disrespect
Yeah.
that shouldn't exist in a friendship.
Yeah. Another person said she has an obligation as a business owner and she actually needs to be held accountable. There's a two-parter. There's a two-parter. First part says, happened to my brother working for a family friend. It actually ruined the family friendship and he only got a small amount of what he was owed. Friends don't do that to friends. It's definitely worth fighting for.
Yeah.
Another person said, your friend not only owes you $5,000, but also the growth and the income that you missed out on. Our community could just run this entire show for
Yeah.
us,
At this point.
honestly. And then this person also messaged in, also the ATO has an online tool for reporting employers who haven't paid employees super, and it calculates the interest.
Does it all for you.
Does it all for
So
you.
good. I was going to say you could do it anonymously, but you probably literally cannot.
Well,
they
you
need to pay
probably can't, but also I don't think you need to do this anonymously. Like at the end of the day, you're not in the wrong and you might feel like you are. It's like no one wants to be a burden. And I think as women, we just hate the idea of being like, oh, I'm really sorry I'm putting you out. And your friend might have every excuse under the sun. Like, oh, well, you know, and I'm just extrapolating this out. But we heard from the DM, she's just gone back to full-time work. So she could be like, oh, I had to go back to full-time work because I couldn't afford to run my business full-time and I just don't have the cash. Actually don't care. Work out a payment plan with the ATO.
Yeah.
Work out it, like you shouldn't have been putting yourself in this situation. I think this is very different. Like I'm being quite harsh in this situation because business is a choice. This isn't, oh, I got into debt and I can't afford to repay it, or I owe my friend money for like that's a different story. The fact that you knowingly went into business, had an employment contract with somebody and have blatantly disregarded that, I think is disgusting.
There you go.
So let's leave it there because I'm about to ask for this woman's name. to call her up.
Do that, girl.
Yeah, that'd make good TikTok content, wouldn't it? All right, let's go because I feel like I have taken up a lot of your time. I have loved this episode. Guys, we'll see you next week and bright and early on Monday for Money Diary.
Bye, guys.
Bye.